So I'm here at Messick's. I got a phone call when I was on my way past within a half an hour of this place from picking up my tires, the ones that are going on the 7810, and I had ordered a part, and I thought I had called to direct shipped it, but I didn't, and it was here, which was lucky for me that I was just driving by. Anyway, I came down through, when I came out down the highway, that's 283 there, I think 283, and I saw that they had a big pack baler here, and it looked older because, let's face it, Krone is not great for their paint. It's just the way it is. You can tell a baler that's sat out in the sun because of this oxidization. Now, it's not that you can't get your waxing device out and wax the shit out of it and make it look good again, but this is just a standard big pack 1290 high speed. It's not the HDP. So I figured I would come out and look at it and see the differences between this baler and my baler that I have at home or on my way to North Carolina. And it's pretty evident, the differences are pretty evident right off the bat. From the, you wouldn't even think that the bale chamber would be any different, but it is. It's quite a bit different. The yoke, as somebody so kindly got the right words in my mouth, the yoke that holds the hydraulic cylinders that compress the boards for the baler chamber, is smaller. It only has a single. This has only 4 rams, whereas my HDP has 6 rams. This device here is less. There's not as much steel to it in this part. The wheels, the axles are even smaller. The spring shackles are smaller, less of them because, let's face it, it's not nearly as heavy and it doesn't need so much to hold it up. Still the same great needles and the same tensioning systems and the same pre-charge holdback fingers. That's all the same. Right in this area you can see that it is a lot less beefy than what my 1290 HDP is. And then I was like, well, that's really not much of a difference. Got the same style tires or same size tire that's on there. These are BKTs that they're using on this one, and it's never had a bale of hay through it. So I'm like trying to find what makes this baler so much lighter than other than those few things that I showed in there, than my HDP, because, you know, I'm spending a lot of money to buy the HDP press over the standard, and those small, and this side here has definitely not been in the sun. But, you know, why am I spending all that money on the HDP when I could obviously buy the cheaper, less money baler? And I don't mind lighter running so much, but, and this is still built extraordinarily heavy. I mean, it's built very well. I see that they have moved the metering wheel to the bottom side of it over the top. And it looks like there's a lot more space in here because, well, let's face it, there is a lot less space in here, or a lot more space in here than what there is in mine. The header is the same tough header. I think that they could do a little better job with the suspension of it, but for the most part, it's all the same on that. Plunger looks slightly different. I haven't been up top, but I did look in the back. But the main huge difference is right here, that flywheel. That is about half the flywheel, and the clutches that go in there, the slip clutches and stuff, they're about half of what the slip clutches on the HDP is. So that's a lot right there. So that makes a huge difference. The VFS looks identical to me. I don't see that there's any difference there in the VFS. And what else is there? I'm going to climb up top now because I don't think there was any difference in the knotters per se. Ugh. Feels taller for some reason. I don't know why, but that yoke is really tall. It's different. It's just different. The knotters are the same. Oh, somebody had to take a big one. a big, hot, steamy one. But yeah, so the plunger is easy to get at from the top side. Oh yeah, the connecting rods are much smaller. The arms that hold the crank arms are thinner. God, those guys must have a small dick for all the noise those motorcycles are making. But anyway, yeah, the plunger is definitely not nearly as stout as what the one in the high density press. You can tell by the pins and the bearings that are in the side. The bearings look about the same. No, the bearings look different. They are different. So, yeah, there are some minor, major differences. I don't know how old this baler is. Oh yeah, even where the gearbox attaches to that's definitely a different. That yoke there is different than the one on the HDP. So, yeah, there's some differences, and I just think it's in the amount of iron that they put in them. I don't like where that grease gun is. That thing's too high, and I could show you that. But the bail chamber is not as long either. It's probably only a 10-foot bail chamber, which I'm just telling you right now it is. It's not nearly as long as what my HDP is. So this would probably be the equivalent to, say, that John Deere L341 that I looked at the other day. Close to it, if not. I still think that the yoke on this is way heavier than what that John Deere L341 is, and probably does outperform it anyway. But yeah, you can tell that that plunger is just slightly different. It's slightly different. It looks lighter. It doesn't have the 4x4. It's only got 3x3 steel inside. The plunger in the high density press is much heavier. But still, all in all, I bet you could get this baler pretty reasonable because it is a leftover from a few years. I'm going to say this thing is probably a 2015. I don't know. It doesn't look much different than, say, what my 2015 was, other than, you know, the lighter differences that are in it. Tires look like they've got some checking from. These tires actually look like they're used. Like somebody needed one and they took it off of here and put the one that they repaired back on here. But this is like the chrome side of everything here. You got this is Easy Cut TC500. I think these are great. What's this, a bigger one? TC500 as well? Yes, TC500, TC400. This is a smaller one, so yeah. And then you got the Crimprimas CV150XC, and then the F130, and it already comes with a bird's nest. Yeah, these are interesting little balers. The Belima F340. This one has the wrapper attachment to it. So as you're going, that thing just spits a bale up there and you wrap as you go. Looks to me like they're old. They're sitting here old. So I don't know why people aren't buying these. Maybe there's a price difference that they just don't seem to be able to justify. But that's just my opinion. But here's something, ladies and gentlemen. Not that. Even though that's cool, this is what I would like to have. This big freaking stink bug looking thing. Oh yeah, buddy. Now, I would love to have this thing, but $335,000, $340,000 for this machine is an awful lot of money to spend on a piece of equipment that, you know, it's an awful lot of money to spend on a piece of equipment, but it's not bad. In all, I would need to have no less than, I would have to say I'd have to be farming at least, in total cut acres per year, at least 12,000 acres. I really do. I think that would be probably the magic number for this one. 12,000 acres. It is four-wheel drive, which will get you through the mud. And, you know, of course your fields ain't going to look like much when you're done. But, boy, this thing is really, really sweet. So if I was ever to, like, either win the lottery or the price of hay would come back, or dairy, you know, dairy, that curse word, the dairy industry where people are damn near starving to death. I mean, even these tires, 865 32s, wow. I'd like to put those on the back of the 8530, really. Only a 38 or a 42-inch tire. That would really, the 800 is what intrigues me. I like that. This has tine conditioners. I can see them from here. I'll go around to the front and show you. I thought I'd be able to sneak around that way, but I can't. But the thing I really like about, there it is. There's the tine conditioners right there. Very easy to replace, very simple, very durable. From what I understand, they're super durable. But the thing I like about these Krone cutter bars more than anything, they actually painted the knives. Can you believe that? That's powder coated. But if you hit an obstruction on this thing, excuse me, if you hit an obstruction on this turtle or this cutter head, it spins up out of the way. Just boom, out of the way. In one turn, it never hit. This one will never collide with that cutter. Either one of them. It's on a spline that zoop up and out of the way with a roll pin, a simple roll pin. So when you snap that bad boy off, this thing gets up out of the way. You leave a streak in the field until you realize, hey, I've broken one of the shear pins and I have to go reset it. So then you put your hand on there and you pull it the opposite direction, and that's amazing how easy that turns. And it's peeing right now. It's peeing on me. Yeah, it just amazes me how easy these things are. And these are the quick removal style. So there's a tool that you use to force that thing down. It goes in, you force it down, you can change your blades in seconds instead of minutes, which a lot of people may or may not understand. Seconds are a lot in this industry. It really is. But wow, these are amazing. And who makes these? It says it's they're Krone, made in Italy. Who makes that though? I'm sure if I peeled that sticker off it would tell me, but I'm not going to be a prick and do that. So, yeah. Krone Big M 450. I know they make a bigger one. I think they call it the 500 personally. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. And wow, here's all the greasing oil points and all the parts and stuff. Wouldn't even surprise me. Yeah, there's more blades. This is great. This is really cool because this toolbox is behind everything, easy, ground level, easy to get to. Your license plate, which we don't need in the United States, but it would be nice to put FU cars on the back there because they're a pain in the ass. But man, this thing's heavy duty. Heavy duty. Midas tires. I believe Midas tires are a division of Michelin. I'm almost certain that they are, but don't quote me. And don't prosecute me or persecute me if I'm wrong. But see, somebody needed a turtle at some point, but this is perfect opportunity to show you exactly what I was talking about. Okay, so these guys, somebody needed a turtle here. Here's your shear bolt or your shear pin. Okay, so when this thing shears, you hit something hard, that shears off, and the whole thing goes zoop, right up out of the way, so nothing hits it. And they're very heavy duty. Left thread counterclockwise, right thread clockwise rotation. So yeah, and that, I imagine these are directional then because of the way they have to pop up out of the way. But these are beautiful machines. I did test drive one of these back a couple of years ago, and I thought they were pretty damned awesome. Actually handled really well, and they're actually made to go down narrow roads. If you've ever been in Europe, they have a lot of narrow roads. And if you take say my self-propelled, I go down the road, I'm 16, 17 feet wide. That's 10. That's 10 feet wide. It's big, 10 feet wide with a 30-foot cut. So, might even be 32 feet on that one. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Neil. I do know that the price on that thing is between $335,000 and $350,000. And that would be great and all. And it might be a thing in my future if hay prices continue to come up. But until then, I guess it's just going to sit here on this lot. Maybe the Big M500 will be here. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. and I'll see you when I get home to put these tires on.